threat awareness training so that people, when blindfolded, have to become more aware of when somebody's looking at them or going to attack them from behind. So my question to you, since this is your world, not mine, is how easy do you think it would be to train people in threat awareness to become more sensitive to knowing when they're being looked at?
That's very interesting. I have never been a part of any martial art that teaches people threat awareness. What the martial arts that I've been involved in have all been about acquiring very specific skills for hand-to-hand combat against other trained adversaries. There's a bunch of different types of martial arts that emphasize what you call self-defense type martial arts.
Yes.
My issue with those guys and the practices of self-defense type martial arts is that almost everything that they're teaching would only work against a non-trained opponent. They have all these ideas like if a guy comes at you and throws a punch, you grab his wrist, you do this, you do that. All that stuff only works on someone who doesn't know how to fight. And my thinking is always learn what works on trained killers. Learn things that are undeniable against the most skilled martial artists. Those are the things you want to learn. And through this practice of very, very difficult to pull off techniques, very difficult training, pushing yourself, expanding the boundaries of your willingness to push your body and your mind. That's how you truly learn about yourself. And Miyamoto Musashi had this expression that he wrote in the Book of Five Rings, that once you understand the way broadly, you will see it in all things. And that way being, in his world, was the way of sword fighting. And that you would understand this in this most incredible and intense way, and you would see the same sort of path of the true path in calligraphy, in carpentry, in all sorts of expressive art forms. And that this is, in my opinion, what is the great benefit of martial arts. It's the developing of your human potential through this incredibly difficult endeavor. And I've always found that these guys who like blindfold and look out for it's all bullshit. There's a tremendous amount of bullshit in martial arts. It's one of the worst.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, much less so now because of the new movement from 1993 on has been the movement of mixed martial arts. And that's because of these things called Ultimate Fighting Championship and mixed martial arts competitions. And what mixed martial arts competitions have done is there was always these ideas that different people had like death touches, and this guy could hit you in a certain place and use his chi and knock you back. All those guys failed miserably in competition. Not a single one was successful, not one. Every single one was beaten down, and it just showed there's no mysticism when it comes to martial arts. The true mysticism is the conquering of your fears, the ability to understand how to remain calm during these incredibly stressful moments of competition, and through repetition and intelligent development of technique. That's what real martial arts training teaches people. And that any divine feeling you get from a true master, you would get from a pianist as well. You would get from a true, a brilliant painter. You know, you've met Alex Gray, right?
Yes.
Brilliant painter. But you know how that feeling you get when you're around him? Like he's a master. You know what I mean? Like he has this sense of this, like, you're in the presence of a very unique person. And I have experienced that same feeling when I've been around martial artists, and that same feeling when I've been around, just great minds, great thinkers. What you do is you're recognizing greatness. You're recognizing what Musashi said. You're recognizing someone who understands the way broadly. And I don't believe in a lot of these ideas of self-defense training. I think there's certain techniques that are very effective for soldiers, like disarmament techniques, like how to take someone's pistol away, how to defend against a knife attack, where it's very technique oriented. Krav Maga incorporates a lot of those, which is an Israeli martial art that takes a lot of the best aspects of many different martial arts, and they train that. There are definitely real techniques involved that have been taught to soldiers and by soldiers when it comes to disarmament, when it comes to how to deal with hand-to-hand combat in certain situations. But I think overall, a lot of the quote-unquote self-defense styles are bullshit. And a lot of the, we're going to blindfold you and people are going to kick you. If I blindfold you, you're going to get fucked up. All right. If I blindfold you, there's not a person alive that's going to stop me from punching them in the face if I blindfold them. You're not going to know what's coming.
No.
The only thing that you can help is if you have control of a body. Like if you're blindfolded, you can grapple very well. But I've grappled with my eyes closed before. But the reason being is that if I am holding on to your waist, if I have a hold of you, I know where everything else is. It's just a pattern thing. It's a pattern recognition. I've been in that position so many times that I know where your neck is going to be. I know where your arm's going to be. If I isolate your shoulder, I know where your wrist is going to be. I know how to isolate those joints without having to look at them. So in that sense, you could do some things blindfolded, but not striking, not distance.
No. Well, I think the threat awareness stuff was not so much that you could fight blindfolded, but training people to feel from which direction someone was looking at them from behind. Now, it seems to me plausible that you could train that, but, it's not my way.